nurse. Let her tell you how. Where you go to school at, baby?
I graduated from Cleveland State this past December. I kept telling my friends, you know, like I want to take like a prep class because I'm a horrible test taker. I was like really anxious about taking the test. Like before, me and Robin graduated together. Before we even like started our last semester, I was like already like so stressed out about the NCLEX. So I didn't know like what class I was gonna take. I was like, I'll just have to like research it, whatever. And then for me and Robin's community clinical, we had to go to the Metro Health Women's Health Fair, and we were just walking around, and I saw she had a table set up there.
Oh wow!
So that's how I found her class, and then Robin's brother's girlfriend took her class. Yeah.
Okay.
So Robin knew somebody who took this class. They said it was good, whatever. I signed up, whatever, came in, did my pre-assessment, whatever. My first class was January 2nd.
Oh, the first of the year. Yeah.
Yes, and then the next week I went to Aruba, and the whole time in Aruba I like brought my iPad. I brought like my psych packet and the psych meds packet and the OMG packet. Yes, because she was like, just start off with psych. So we were like at the pool. I was like, and I like convinced my dad because you know we were out of the country, so like you couldn't like use your phone. I'm like, Dad, can I please use my phone? Because when we're like off of the resort, I'm not gonna have Wi-Fi, and I really need to be doing like practice questions. That was kind of an excuse because I just wanted to use my phone. I really did. Like when we were like off the resort, I really did, you know, at least try to do like 5 or 10 questions when I could. So whatever. And then we'd like go back to the room at night, and I would do like 25 questions, you know, whatever. I'm just trying to stay on top of it. Yeah. So yeah, you know, I really like every day I would study, like I'm not kidding, like 6 to 8 hours a day. Not in Aruba, but you know, coming back.
She was crazy.
Yeah, I would study, like I'm not kidding, like 6 to 8 hours a day. I just like got to a point where I was just like exhausted, and then like all my friends were taking it and they passed, and they're like, you're just over studying, like just go take it. But I was like, well, I can't take it until like she tells me I'm ready to take it. So I think it was like after I only came to 3 toe-to-toes.
But you killed them all.
Yeah. After my first toe-to-toe, Shelly told me that I would be ready like beginning of March. So I was like, okay. So I went home. This was like probably beginning of February.
Who remembers her toe-to-toe? She was there.
Me.
She kicked ass and took names. First time ever. I'm like, oh, hell no. Go on, get out of my class, girl.
So I went home and I scheduled my test. And then I remember even before you told me that, I asked if I could schedule it in advance just so I have like motivation. And then you told me no. You're like, you know, life happens, whatever.
Happened to me.
Yep, and that's a story that I'll tell off camera. So whatever, I didn't schedule it, but then after she told me, I scheduled it for March 6th, which was the day before my birthday. And then
And what school did you go to, Haley?
Cleveland State.
We want to shout it out because many of you go to like schools that are not good, right? Even, especially my online crew. And when you see someone that comes out of school and they pass that test within that 12-week period, they went to a good school. So shout out to Cleveland State. But you're like, no, I don't think they're that great.
No.
We're both here.
They had to put something in there for me to plug in more.
Well, I don't know, like I do think that when we started off, it was a really good program, but
Did
then
COVID
it just
mess
started,
y'all
yeah.
up? Oh, was
Like,
it COVID
no-
though?
No, it was a lot of us. Teachers.
It was just like, yeah, like
Organization.
teachers, yeah,
Communication.
sucked at organization, they sucked at communication.
They put
Professors
different-
sucked, like
Oh.
our pharmacology.
Okay, well.
No, I'm serious.
listen.
Listen,
Fuck it, Cleveland
there's-
State, I don't know.
They get
Our
fired from other schools and then come to Cleveland State because they know people in like our administration.
It's who they know.
It's
Yeah.
who they know. And then when every single person in our like class, our entire cohort, like complains and like writes a petition about them and nothing gets done.
Nothing gets
like
done.
it is literally just
Well,
Yeah,
now,
so-
in their, I can't defend that, but I will say this. What's the problem with nurse educators? Are there enough?
No.
And if you're talking on university setting, they want you to have a PhD or a master's.
Yeah.
Are
And
there
we're
a lot of
evening
those
weekends,
nurses?
so-
I can count PhDs on one
Yeah.
hand in the country.
So we
So,
were in the
no,
evening
there's
weekend
not.
program, so it was even more
Oh yes,
messed
more
up.
disorganized, yeah.
So, but I'm gonna say one more thing about Cleveland State. Our pharmacology class, horrible. The teacher, I'm not kidding. The teacher, all she did was give us like a bunch of practice questions. The whole exam would be practice questions.
It was
I
those
never got
exact
below a
ones.
95% on those exams
Yep.
because all you had to do was just memorize the practice questions.
Yep.
So I knew,
Oh,
knew nothing about pharmacology. So I'm like,
Category?
that was like made me even more nervous going into the NCLEX because I'm like, well, I don't know anything about medications. Like I'm screwed.
Yeah.
But whatever.
And this
Anyways.
test had more medication.
Yeah. But whatever. So the week, I think it was February 28th. Yeah, I came into class and we did like the 30 question U World and I got like a 67% or something. And you told me, well, you don't think you said anything, but then after class, I like came up to you and I don't remember what you said, but she told me to push it back and I started crying because I'm like, I like physically and mentally just can't do it anymore. Like I was like, I'm just like at the point where it's like, I can't learn anymore. Like I was just like done.
Over it.
So I was just, I was over it. So I was like, okay, well, let me just like think about it. I was like, let me wait till Sunday. I'll see how I'm feeling. Cause I was like, if I'm going to reschedule it, I need to do it by at least Sunday.
That's true.
So I was like joining all these Facebook groups, like, oh, like NCLEX 2024, like Archer, U World, like posting anonymously, like these are my scores, like blah, blah, blah. I'm like, am I going to be okay? Should I push it back? And everybody was like, just go for it. And I was like, all right.
And
Fuck
then
it,
somebody
I'm
came
going.
in here and told you to go. Who is it? Sabrina.
Yeah.
It was
This
her.
was-
It was her sign.
Yeah, so then I came to class. So I took it last Wednesday. I came to the class before. Tuesday, yeah, and we did the U World thing. I literally probably got like a 65% or something. And Shelly was like, well, you're not taking it this week, are you? And I just like stood
She looked
there.
retarded, so I'm like, she's taking it.
And she's like, oh my God. She's like, don't tell me it's tomorrow. And I was like,
I'm like, don't tell me.
she's
Just
like,
tell
I'm
me, tell me.
she was like, all right, I'm just going to pray for you. So whatever. I left class. I went to this little prayer
But I
room.
did. What did I do in class? Completely different.
Oh
from what I
yeah, she literally like last
you.
week she
Dog
did
did.
the
No, I didn't. I don't do
No,
that.
she did
no,
the,
I did that lecture just for her.
yeah, like the prioritization.
I kept
in the
looking at her
OMG
like-
packet.
Just one for you, Haley.
Yeah. So yeah, after class, like I just literally I went to this little prayer room and like I believe in God, but I'm not like super religious. Like I don't go to church like every Sunday.
Grain of a mustard seed.
I was like,
That's all you need.
That's all you need.
yeah, I
Little
was
bit.
like literally I was
I
like,
know people
please.
that go to church every Sunday, little devils in
Yeah.
fucking blue dresses.
I was like, please, God. I'm like, just let me pass.
Ex-husband.
I was like, I can't. I'm like, if I fail, like, I'm done. Like, I'm just gonna crawl
and
in
you
a
know I
hole.
was gonna kill you.
Oh,
so
I know.
There's that. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, literally, I just prayed. I manifested. I was like, please don't let there be anything on my test that like
You don't know.
I don't know. I'm like,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did that, and then
One thing.
yeah,
Just right
I
there.
was in the parking lot before and I sat there for like 20 minutes and I was like, all right, I'm like, let's go. So I went in. I actually took my time, which is not what I did in this class. I would just rush through the questions.
That's what the little brat did. Yeah. So every time she would come up to me, she'd be the first one done. So I don't know if you remember me saying that day. The first one done has the worst scores in my class. The last, and then I looked her right in her eyeballs. The last one done. So take your time.
Yeah.
And the only thing I didn't say was Haley.
Yeah.
And she took her time.
I took my time. I turned the clock off
Yes.
and I had the little whiteboard and I seriously just like broke all the questions down. Like I would write the most important stuff on the thing and be like, okay, like what is it trying to like tell me, you know, whatever. I was just taking my time. And then
At what time did you start, Haley?
8 a.m. and I was done at like 12.
She did good.
Yeah.
How many questions?
85.
All right.
Yeah.
4 hours.
I-
But see, I had yelled. I
Yeah.
just about
Yeah.
cut her neck off when she came up in there first.
got
I'm like, you done already?
Yeah.
No, you can't be
Yeah.
done already. You went
So,
fast.
like when you're taking, well, I'm sure most of you guys have like, but for the people that like haven't taken it already, Robin,
like, me,
like-
shout her out.
like okay, so you get scheduled breaks. So like you get one at 2 hours, then one at 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
But like it's like I thought like the test people would come in and be like, okay, time for a break. But no, like literally the thing like pops up on the screen. And it's like, okay, do you want to take it? If so, raise your hand. If not, you can click no and keep going. So the little thing popped up. So I was at 2 hours and I was only at question 40.
Good.
So I was like, oh my God. I was like, okay. I just went to the bathroom. I splashed some water
We
in
tell
my
you,
face.
she did good. We tell you to check where you are at that 2 hour
Yeah.
mark. Check where you are on the counter and get a feel for what you're doing.
Yeah.
Good girl.
But then I was kind of like, okay, I feel like I should pick it up a little in case I'm going to get more than 85. Like, I don't want to not have time to finish. So, whatever. Then I was, like, at question 70, and I'm like, I cannot do this anymore. But I felt like the questions started to get, like, easier. So, I kind of went a little faster. And then I got to question 85, and they're, like, videotaping you. I didn't know where the camera was, but I just, yeah, it's not just, like, right there anymore. It's, like, kind of hidden.
Video?
Yeah, they videotape you.
Where did you go and take it, Wesley?
Beechwood.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wouldn't go there.
Well, really, my people were really nice.
They
The
was
lady was
checking-
like, I'm going to be your
Checking
mom
behind
today.
earlobes one day.
Yeah, no, and I have these breaks because you're not allowed to have like anything on wrist jewelry, but they're like, let me keep these on because they're permanent, whatever.
Oh,
Yeah, but I got to question 85 and I just looked up, I smiled, I hit next, and then
Hey, bitch, I'm a nurse.
I hit next, and then literally it said like loading content for like 3 minutes, and I'm like, what is going on?
What
I'm
was
like,
that?
at question 85, like after I hit
What was
next.
that? Sample questions?
No, it just said like loading content, and then whatever. Then like the survey popped up, and I was
Oh,
like,
the
all right,
survey.
yeah. I was like, okay, I'm done. I did the
What was
survey. I signed the little card, Haley Moskowitz RN, because that's what Sabrine said she did.
That's what she said she
And
did.
then, yeah, I walked out, and I literally sat in the parking lot for like 30 minutes, and I'm like, literally, what just happened?
You were
And
in
then
shock.
I was in shock. But honestly, I did not think it was that bad. Shelly prepares you really well. You really need to go to the toe-to-toes because
Yeah, you kicked
2
ass.
of the case studies that we did in here were literally on my test.
Yeah. They are.
Like I don't know why, but I just like remember everything from my test.
Which would be nice after filming.
Yeah.
It was funny 'cause I was texting Haley and she's like message. Like I was like, what's on your test?
I was, like,
She
literally
sent,
going
literally,
off.
19 paragraphs of what was on her test. And I'm like, every question. God damn.
Right, how you do that?
Turn it off.
That's right. They don't know who she is. They don't know who that is. They don't know who that is, but you're not going to say that.
No.
You're just gonna write it. Yeah. So, how do you feel?
Good. I started yesterday.
Toe to toes, you told them for their
Yes.
advice.
Really,
Okay,
you should
good.
go to
I
toe to
agree.
toes.
It's a
Like,
big deal.
yeah, you should go.
Tell them your job.
I work at Metro in the trauma surgical ICU.
Trauma surgical ICU. Could you be a dummy and work there? No. 85 and out, she's no dummy.
And I started yesterday. Yes, yesterday. Well, I already worked there I've been
as
there
an
for like
aide.
a year and a half as an aide, so.
Okay. Yeah, because you came in here ready to rock.
Yeah, and I walked into work yesterday in my black scrubs, and everyone was like, "Oh my god!"
Oh,
Yeah.
The feeling.
I
I
know.
love you. I fucking
Thank
love
you.
you.
That's awesome.
My little Haley is so adorable. Yay! Thanks for